Hello everybody, good evening. Thank you for joining me in my third video, building my first city. My name is Patrick, and this is my tutorial on how to slowly grow your city. I'll be making probably a 45-minute video today. You can come back and see my older previous recordings in YouTube. Let's get started. Okay, so I grew this city a little time since the last time that we played, and I think you're going to be kind of surprised at my results. So where to begin? So I turned off my wind plant and I built solar. I'm almost out of poop chutes. And I've maxed out my water as well. So I'm at my breaking point where I don't need to have any more water towers or poop chutes. It's time to actually build the sanitation and water pump. I'm almost at 15,000 people. As soon as I flip over, I'll be able to get said department on my city hall and my department of utilities will allow me to plop those extra items. I did eventually plop a police station. I had a short spurt of crime spree there for a little bit, but that all got worked out. My fire station is still doing very well, and where did I plop? I put my clinic back over here. And just real fast, I want to clarify one thing that I said, and I never demonstrated it in my last recording, but I said that the clinics grow out or back, and what I meant by that was as you start adding on these patient room wings, you just continue growing them back and back and back like that. So the police station and fire station both grow out. The clinic is the only one that grows back, and the longer you have a clinic, the more rooms you'll need. And you know, you can have like 5 or 6 rooms, or well, 4 rooms, but still it's the only one that does that. Tore down my elementary school, built a high school, and it already reached 800 students right away, so I plopped on another classroom. And actually, let's kind of zoom in here. With the high school, I had mentioned before that you can just build it up, and what I meant by that is when I go to add another school, I can just plop another classroom right on top. And it actually is really space saving because you can just build your high school up, and with your high school it can have up to gosh, 4,800 students, I think. It's all lower education, but still it's good for the masses. Generally people are pretty happy. My approval rating is currently at 82%. Commercial is not very happy, but take a look at that later. I did get to plot my mayor's house, which I put in here, and that kind of helped alleviate the land value problems I was facing 1 or 2 videos ago. What's your problem? Oh, so you needed workers, that's fine. Even though I do have the solar plant up and running, I'm going to keep my wind power plant available just in case if I have a power crisis and I need to generate power in a hurry. This will put out, I think it's like 30 megawatts or 40 megawatts, which would get me through a night period. The downside of solar is that you don't generate any power at night generally. And I have relocated my dump down here. Actually, it looks like it's getting pretty full. I'm not incredibly worried about it just yet. You know, I might as well. So, I'm gonna plop a garbage incinerator. It's 300 an hour. Oh, yeah, and I have money, and we'll get to that in a second. And I'm gonna add on well, I can put it on the other side, another dump. And dumps are free, there's no charge. My income is looking quite healthy. I forgot I took out this bond. Pay that bond. So about 4,000 an hour, and I have 104 34,000 simoleons in the bank. So the city is completely self-sustaining. Running it at cheetah mode right now is just going to generate me money. This is my favorite stage of the game, where you know, you're at level 9 or 10. Oh, looks like my upgrade's ready. Let me go ahead. I'm gonna flip on full screen real fast because I had it not while I was getting set up. So full screen, apply, accept. Beautiful, marvelous. Okay, so my upgrade is ready. What was I saying before? I don't remember. That's fine. So I wanted to make this video. Oh, that's right. This is my favorite time in the game. It's like you just got your mount or like a vehicle, and all of a sudden it's more interesting just to like walk around and enjoy your mount or car instead of you know, building or raising your level. So depending on how I feel, I might actually make this a shorter video, just because it's pretty boring when you get a scenario like this just to let it run. But at the same time, you generate so much positive income that it's really difficult to trade that off. And when I say that, it's because, you know, you build steady specializations, but those all just kind of run out. And I found these periods in the opening game where you can really make some bank. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade my city hall. And they're not going to change the building this time, but we do again get the fireworks. Ooh, boom. It's beautiful. And I will add on my Department of Utilities. And this will allow me to, we'll just read it. Water pumping station, sewage treatment plant, and recycling center. That's right, I forgot you needed this for the recycling center. So you just pick a side. You can either do like a square, or I think stacking on the side, but I think you only get 2 per side. So we'll do, it's all about the same space that it takes up. Let's do that. And you can bulldoze wings as well. You can't pick another wing to do, I don't believe, but you can bulldoze them and replop them at a later time if you so desire. And that counts also if you bulldoze or your city hall is destroyed, then you'll get that opportunity to rebuild with everything that you've already unlocked. Alright, so I think I wanted my sewage treatment plant down here. And I'm gonna show you guys the little mechanic that we do to get around pollution. Or at least reusable water. I don't have... Let's try this. So it's all the way here in the corner. So this will pump water, or this will treat the sewage, and I'm going to build another road. I'm not a big road fan, but you don't need avenues for this type of setup. You just don't. It's totally, there's no point. The water plant and the sewage plant only have like 1 worker. It might like clutter up the pipes because it's a small road. I don't know. Let's find out. So, oops, my music's getting a little bit loud. Okay. So, here's my water pumping station, and I'm gonna plop it right here. I'm gonna plop it right here for right now. So, the idea behind... Yeah, I barely have enough money. So this is a really good example of running out of money too quickly. These things are relatively expensive, and it's not unheard of that you would go to plop one and then run out of money all of a sudden, like I am about to. But the saving grace is, now that we have this set up, that's plenty of room. That's got to be enough room. Alright, now that we have that set up, I'm going to go ahead and turn off these water towers, because we don't need them anymore. Don't bulldoze anything until you're 100% sure that your new buildings have come to life. My sewer plant is now ready and pumping sewage. It goes yellow because the two nodes are competing for the sewer, and the game is too stupid to figure out. Well, I guess it's not dumb, it's just the you need to bulldoze these. It's competing, the nodes are competing for which endpoint to go to. Now, I was talking with a gentleman the other day, and if you do run out of sewer capacity, like, your only recourse is to put a sewage treatment plant on the exact opposite side of the map. And that's the only way that you get the balance between the nodes. Otherwise, what happens is sewage gets caught in the pipes, and it doesn't know if it should go to one plant or to the other plant, and residents' pipes will start backing up, and then they start getting sick, and they start complaining about sewage, and then they start moving out because sewage isn't being taken care of. And all the while, like, your meters are just off the chart. Like, there's no way that they should be getting sick, and they do. And personally, I think it's a bug or just a really poorly coded mechanic, but there's nothing. I don't think there's any plans to fix that. I think it's just one of those accepted things that the game is designed around that. All right, and my water pump is working, so I'm gonna go ahead and bulldoze these. And I think tonight I might expand out this way. Maybe kind of fill in some of this ocean property. Hey, Angie. The most important with this trick, or this mechanic, is when you do start creating ground pollution with the sewage treatment plant, you can't have a regular basic water pump on there. You need to bulldoze the water pump and replace it with a filtration pump. If you fail to do this, your water will get polluted. Polluted water will make everyone very, very sick. Rain. Polluted water will make everyone really sick. I think I mentioned this in the first video. Anyway, it turns into this huge, like, apocalypse where you have 50 or 100 sick Sims, and they all try to go to the hospital, and it's very, you know, like the ER season finale. It's just bad. Rain supposedly returns water to the water table. If that mechanic actually works, I think it's very, very, very limited, but at least there is some sort of replenishment. And water is also in cities of tomorrow you get air scrubbers, and air scrubbers will remove pollution as well as slightly increase the chance for rain, I believe is the exact verbiage behind it. Let's see. I could increase density. What do I want to do? Well, first thing I want to do is kick this up to llama speed. So let's do that. Did these move out? No, they're still good. Oh yeah, that's good. All right, and let's go ahead and take a look at our services here. Just okay on power. Water, of course, is amazing. Sewer, of course, is amazing. Look at all that beautiful poop. It's probably not the right sound for that, but yeah, it's I don't know why they show that, but whatever. People generally happy, so that's good. Trash is getting collected, so that's good. As the city grows, what time is it? Wow, so it's almost 6 a.m. and there's no garbage. I wonder how that works. I wonder when it builds up. Since this is my education city, I'll be building a recycling center pretty much right away. Just so I start making money off of the global market. I'll produce alloy and probably metal. And as soon as I make enough money, I'll get started on my great works. And I don't think I've decided on which one I want to use yet, but I think I'm going to make this one an arcology. And since these, well, at least this one, yeah, these cities are all pretty well connected by water, so maybe people that live in the arcology will commute to one of these cities and take a ferry over to there, or some such. But the arcology isn't too difficult to build. They're all really not too difficult to build. You can get most of the materials either from the global market. You can make them yourself, or make it yourself. Oh, just make it with the recycling center. So that, ouch! God! Fuck you, cat! Oh. Anyways, excuse me. My cat decided she wanted to jump up on my lap with her claws out, and she got me good. Alright, so yeah, you can make most of these with materials from the recycling center. So metal and alloy you can make from the recycling center. You make crates of TVs after you plop a processor factory. You build enough processors that you can upgrade to the consumer electronics division at your trade headquarters, or electronic headquarters? I think it's electronic headquarters. Anyways, and that will allow you to produce TVs, and then that's where that goes. And it takes 60,000 TVs, so it's a ways into the process. You can buy television off the global market, but they do have a tendency of being very expensive. After you build the arcology, you just have to provide enough power between the cities in order to get it turned on. And it's pretty neat. You can get little fireworks and a little cinematic kind of thing. Space Center is a little bit more advanced. You need a lot of fuel. Fuel is refined from oil. Alloy, also raw ore or the recycling center, and 40,000 crates of computers. Computers tend to have TVs. It's the same technology center. You might have to research something else for TVs or something else for computers. I don't remember what it is, but you can get one or the other pretty easily. International Airport takes metal, which you can get from the recycling center, or you can get it from ore, straight crude oil, and alloy. So if you have a big oil city, so you can have an education city that would provide metal and alloy from a recycling center, let's say, and a oil city that would just produce 250,000 barrels of crude oil. And then the solar farm is a little bit, you know, almost easier, plastic, alloy, and processors. So plastic comes from oil, alloy would come from, it is a bit of plastic. It's not a lot of alloy, and the processors. And with the processors, you would just have to build a processor plant. You wouldn't have to go to the next step and build TVs or anything like that. Theoretically, if you have a circuit plant in one city, you should be able to gift yourself circuits. If those circuits would ever make it there, you know, your guess is really as good as mine. You know, my cats. So gifting has never really worked very well, and it's still kind of, it still doesn't work very well. It works, but not well. When you, let's say you have two well-established cities and you send a gift from one city to the other city. So I'm gifting from city A to city B, and let's say I've already founded city B. So in city A, I would send the gift, and the gift would appear in the form of a vehicle, and it would have my little icon over it, and the car would drive from here, around here, and go into the neighboring city. And you would think by that point the gift is available. So you visit your other fully functioning city, and you wait. And you wait. And you wait, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait. And then finally, from city B, you would see this little car come out of here, and then follow this little road, and into your currently playing city, and you'd receive that gift. You would realize that the gift had been received. And it can take like 10-15 minutes for it to catch up. It depends on how much you play your cities. I am a big proponent of playing. If I'm playing a new region that I'm growing, I play every city for at least 10 minutes. It gives the region kind of an awareness of what's going on in the other cities. I think EA felt that this game should be like a mini raid almost, or a flex raid, if you will. If you're familiar with World of Warcraft at all, it's basically they want 16 people to sit down at the same time and just play one city or one region at the same time. While that's all good in theory, it's not really practical, especially with the audience I think that SimCity has. It's hard to coordinate schedules, it's hard to get everyone to sit down and kind of agree on things, and you know, definitely you can do it. Like, there's no reason that I don't believe that it should work. But I definitely prefer to play alone at this stage of time, just because of this. I mean, there's not a whole lot of people that's going to play at 16,000 people and just let it run forever, just so I can make a boatload of money. But I'm gonna. So I went ahead and flipped it up to Cheetah. We're still making 4,000 an hour. All my taxing is the same. Not really doing very much. There's worker shortages, but it's okay for right now. Yeah, I mean, I might upgrade roads. This one started out as a high-density avenue, and all of the rest of my streets are medium-density avenues. And I really just like forcing these little buildings to flip over and upgrade as demand goes up. And it makes them incredibly happy for some reason. They seem to do very well. So, getting kudos. Love the new sewer system. Doesn't have to dump his poop in the yard, so that's good. And now he can take a shower. Oh, thank God. So they're gonna rest at home. They have a cold. All he needs is an ambulance. Oh, look, we have ambulances now, so they don't die. It's fantastic. They want me to build a mega tower. I'm not building a mega tower in the city just yet. I, of course, have them in other regions, and I've done a lot of testing and a lot of playing around just to see what works and what doesn't, and I've had some pretty interesting results. If anyone is ever curious or wants to see, it's pretty interesting. Kind of some neat looking buildings. Well, neat looking cities, I'll say. Let's see. So, where's this road? That's that. Can I do that? I can do that. That was my, if I hold down on shift, that's the connector that it draws. It's at a weird angle this way because the road is curved. One of the many reasons why I hate curved roads. But I'm not going to get into that. They serve a purpose and they look pretty. But I don't like them. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and de-zone this and rezone it all commercial. And we're going to leave that the way it is, and that there. Alright, check for bus stops. This neat little gap right here, so we'll close that off. What are we on? We're on cheetah speed. Alright. And let's see. I don't have any. Well, this is commercial, and so is that. But this isn't. Actually, I'm just gonna wait and see. Let's find out what happens. Either I'm gonna put in commercial here, or here. Yeah, commercial here, or make all this commercial and make all this residential. Two districts. I can make like a commercial district. Uh-oh, crime. And he wants a university. I will build a university here very soon. I think you have to have 1,200 students, 10 class. Yeah, 1,200 students. And that will probably go down over here. And if you do like the soundtrack, if you keep your camera zoomed out, is where you get the better music. But I think you can kind of see why I like playing this game as slowly as I do. It doesn't take very long before you start getting really good results without a whole bunch of overhead. And if you just play a game like it's supposed to be played, you know, it's while it is very, very difficult, it's not impossible. You can make pretty good cities just by applying some very rudimentary mechanics. And, you know, you can make the argument, well, this isn't very fun, and who wants to watch a little blips running around everywhere? Well, you know, turn down the speed, and zoom in, and take a look around your city. You don't get the cool music, but you do get to see kind of a little landscape that you've created, and interact with your Sims as you see fit. There goes the ambulance. Looks like a building over there is on fire. Hey, you, where are you going? Oh, just got off work, and he's trying to go find a place to spend his money. Alright, yep, definitely building burning. And there's a fire truck. Alright. School bus just passed, garbage truck is out on collecting. Right in the nick of time. Way to go, guys. Kids at the skate park. Careful, kids. But the good thing is, it's right next to the clinic, so when they do fall and crack their heads, they have a place to go. Not only to get stitched up, but get their little concussions taken care of or whatnot. Next on my list of things to build is going to be a bus stop, or at least a bus station. I won't be able to get the big one until I upgrade my town hall, which it's pretty far away. It's half of where I want to be. I have the full pack, so I get the double decker bus terminal. I would actually recommend, if you can afford it or if you want to pay the extra money and get these add-ons. They were a bonus with beta if you pre-ordered the game, if you paid extra money, and it was sort of this, you know, you're going to get this and no one else will have access to it. And then they give it to everyone. So, screw you, EA, bastards. But I pre-ordered for different reasons. It was just a benefit of it. I highly recommend it. It holds 20 more Sims than the regular bus terminal does. So the bus capacity is 80, this is 100. They cost exactly the same, and this one only has a $50 extra hourly fee. So you get bigger bang for your buck. As you start learning more about land value and land wealth, rich people don't necessarily take the bus. You need to find different ways of getting them around your city. which is really good with Cities of Tomorrow, have maglevs and above ground trains. Streetcars are fine. It's just, you know, another thing to take up more space. That's kind of how that works out. Got a little ghetto area over here. Nice little cluster of homes. Senior living, probably. And then here's my factories. Factories are kind of cool to look at, too. Lots of moving parts, especially on the high-tech ones. It's lots of glowing things and pretties, shinies. So industry will take up a lot of space, and in these spaces they'll create these little fillers. Residential will have them as well. They'll put in swimming pools and things like that. They're not bad. They just take up empty space that the industry would otherwise. Let's see here. Dirty factory. These little boxes on the conveyor belts. Turn back up the speed. We're done with the tour, but you know, this is where you find enjoyment in the game. Yeah, let's kick it up. Oh, they had a building fire. Let's see. So now we're at 171,000. This is hard to go wrong. I mean, you just make hand over fist money. The city is completely self-contained right now. You get fires are getting addressed, except for this one is probably traffic related. People aren't necessarily sick. Everyone is going to school. 2 deaths a day, not a big deal. I could do more about it, but if I did more, I'd hurt my hourly income, and it's not, people aren't moving out because 2 people fall off of ladders and die. It's not that big of a deal. Ambulance drivers, on the other hand, can't seem to drive. Okay, so did you see that tick of unhappiness that these 2 buildings had? It's because there were injured Sims, and an injured Sim had died. Keep injuring themselves. No one's going to school. That's something that needs to get addressed. Let's see. Oops, students. Students. Wow, 160 are not enrolled. Okay, so that tells me I need to add a bus school. A school bus. Oops. And hopefully that'll help, let me turn it down here for a second. That'll help more kids get to class. It looks like the bus turned on. When the lights turn on, it means the item is active. So I'll flip it up, and it'll be ready for the morning class, morning school day. And almost up to 200,000. Yeah, there's lots of health issues in this city. I'm not really sure why. Oh, it's full. So I have all 10 of my waiting rooms are filled. So I need to plop another one. I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna put it here. So what happens is, if your hospital or clinic is full, it has to turn away patients. You can't have people just lying around on the ground. And you know, I know they do that sort of in real life during disasters, but this isn't a disaster. We're not in a crisis or anything. So I need to be diligent and provide the extra capacity. And it's already almost filled. Because I went from 10 to 15 and there's 25. Yeah, unhappy. So you can actually click on the building and it'll say, what makes us unhappy? Oh, unhappy will be right below happy. Nothing makes them unhappy. Oh, they need freight. Freight and freight. So my industry's not working hard enough. Let's see. I am gonna see how happy everybody is. I'm going to upgrade this road because it doesn't really matter. I say it doesn't matter because it's mostly government along this road, so upgrading it isn't going to wholly affect the value, but it will help this other congestion, because right now this is a choke point, and it will continue to be increasing choke point until I draw a road back here, or finish off this avenue. I'm going to keep this one like it's at for probably a little while, until I'm confident that I don't need my wind power plant anymore, which is basically now. I don't need my wind power plant anymore. But I'm going to keep it just for the sake of keeping it around, just so I don't lose out of power, run out of power. And speaking of which, I'm running low on power. It's noon, so I should be fine. And this is always kind of neat. When you plop a solar array, as soon as it turns on, the solar panels will focus to the sun. And you experience the same thing with the concentrated solar array, and it's kind of neat that when the sun rises, all the solar arrays will focus on where the sun's at, and that's how you generate your power. It's just a neat little graphic that they put into the game. Well, it appears that freight might be actually getting stuck in traffic and it's not being delivered in time. So, let's see. So as soon as that... Oh yeah, there they go. That should make a good bypass for right now. And that helps kind of just more finely establish the grid as we get it built out. When I do my grids, I usually do twos or ones. So this would be a two, so it's 1 block by 1 block, or one where I bisect it. Like right down the middle. Oh, I see what happened. Close enough. Yeah. Let's see, can we get... not really. We can do that, though. And when you build up against terrains, the houses will just look silly. The driveways will be, like, enormous. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't look natural. But, you know, there's no way to alter the terrain without mods or hacking the game, so I don't understand why they don't allow us the ability to at least have some sort of elementary fill, level, or remove ability if you could find someplace else to put it within within reason or anything like that. But that's what they wanted to do, so not supported. And then as nighttime settles in, people start kind of going home, relaxing. They'll try to find a bar or something like that to go to, and then they'll just walk home like the nice, responsible Sims that they are. Actually, I need to do a video on the maps. These maps can be incredibly useful, as well as incredibly frustrating and difficult to read. So there's a lot of really good layers that you can apply to get different statistics about your city and where the nodes are going. So I've always found those pretty useful. And actually, let's take a look real fast. So green means they're at home. So they're at home chilling, watching TV, probably in bed. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Blue are people that are shoppers. They're coming from or going to commerce. Light blue are workers. So industrial plants will have more workers. They find jobs at commercial buildings, merchandising, a couple workers at the high school. Okay, 50 workers. Some here, it only takes 4 to run City Hall, and 1 at my house. And then these, of course, provide work as well. 28 workers. Purple is students, and when the school day starts, all the students will come from out here with the help of buses or just by walking and make it to the high school. There you see the kids that can walk are already starting to walk. This mess, what you're seeing right now, is exactly why I like to play it slow. If your little blue dot doesn't reach it doesn't get to where it's going in enough time, then you lose, right? It's dead. You're going to spend money and you don't make it, so you get really unhappy, and you just find someplace else to live if you can't find a way to deal with your happiness. This is nuts. Look at that. What a district. They're all over that stuff. Yellow, which you don't see in this city, are tourists. This is a really good way of tracking where tourists are coming from in your city. If they're arriving by bus or plane or taxi, what have you, and where they're visiting. What shops do they go to? What attractions are they seeing? And you can kind of gauge how you need to structure your cities in order to... Wow, look at all those people going home. They just got off work at the power plant, apparently. And the shops are filling up. But it'll give you an idea for tourists how to kind of better construct your city. It's something that I personally am still working on. I don't like casino cities that much. I have a tendency to blow them up horribly. They start out really strong, but then they just completely fizzle out. That being said, most of my cities are like hodgepodge of what actually a real casino city would be like. So this is why I'm really kind of pushing regional play, or at least proofing it out, because it would match up better to how they expect the game to be played. And then, unfortunately, Orange is homeless. If they've run out of money, or can't find work, or just get evicted for whatever reason, they will go homeless. Homeless people will congregate around parks and abandoned buildings. They will show up in your bulldoze map. So if you bring up bulldoze, you see these yellow shadows just kind of wandering around your map, and you can zoom in and click on the person, and it'll kind of tell you, you know, give them a name, and they're homeless. They kind of hang around your city. If they can't find an abandoned building, you know, they'll slum around the parks. If they get tired of that, you'll just see them kind of wandering off to other cities. It's an unfortunate part of the game. And early on, like, you could have 600 to 800 homeless people in your city, and it was just this horrendous sea of yellow, basically AOL figurines wandering around your city. It was just totally nasty. There are ways of dealing with homeless, and I'll address that in another video. It's difficult, I'm not gonna lie, and yeah. I had suggested to EA on the forums that we have a modest proposal and have like a reverse poop shoot. So instead of shooting shit out, it sucks the homeless people in, and then we can resell that as Soylent Green. Oh, they really need freight. I found the good freight. Oops, looks like I have abandoned buildings. Just the one. That's probably a fire. Which one's freights? This is my industrial map. Okay, yeah. So they have freight. They have money. But they're not shipping it out to the commerce. Give us some freight or else. So I'm gonna zone some more industrial. Not too much, but I just want the commerce to, 1, get off my back, and 2, get the freight that they need. Which way is the wind blowing again? I forgot. It's this way. Yeah, it's this way. So actually, I'm gonna put freight, well, no, that's a bad idea. I'll put some this way. Industrial isn't that bad. It does pollute the ground and do all sorts of bad, nasty stuff. As you grow your city and build your education level, the buildings will upgrade, your technology level will go up, and your buildings will become less pollutant. So we can see here, our education level, we are at 4 out of 5 spinning hats? I don't know what they're called. And tech level is currently 0. And as soon as we build our university, that number will improve. And actually, since I have industrial coming this way, I'm going to plot my university probably in this area when it's ready. How many students do I have enrolled? Almost 1,000. And it looked like, after watching that overlay, yeah, so we went from, what, 160 unenrolled students to 14. So that'll really help. Hopefully smarter Sims will help their parents stop falling off of ladders. Would be the hope here. You can build a community college. I am not entirely sure what it does, to be perfectly honest. It seems to be a drag on everything around it. It seems to steal students from the high school, and you kind of get into this trash, this drain where you can't get out of this horrendous suction. So if anyone has insight into how that process works and want to post it in my channel, by all means feel free. I am more than happy to listen to feedback about these things. Like I said, I'm still learning how to play this game, so there's a lot of aspects of it that I do understand, and probably an equal number of them that I don't. So, and I'm more than happy and willing to admit that fact. And put in a 2 here. Let's get our grid. Boink. And let's try it over here. So the trick is you build the road down. Shift. There we go. 3 feet. So let's look at our RCI. And this commercial. So I'm going to zone this commercial, and then all this will be residential. To zone an entire section all at the same time, just hold down on Control. Control will fill the whole box. And I just screwed that up, didn't I? Okay. Commercial, and then residential. Yeah, let's just... Hey, grins, let's make that residential. Let's find our nearest park. So this is probably the easiest way to do it, is go to your park map and then bring up your land value. And it's pretty easy to see where you'll find it at. And I'm going to build a nature park. Well, I can't build anything fancy, can I? Well, I could build a soccer field. I think I'll do that. These really make people happy. And you kind of see the wave of happiness as it affects people. Oops. Did they move out? Nope. They're still doing good. And, okay, we're still on llama speed. I'm gonna kick it down here for just a second. So I think we're almost out of time. So I'm gonna go ahead, plop a bus stop, and you know what? Just to kind of get things going here, I'm gonna plop a public library, and I'll put it on this side because that's basically unusable land, anyways. Bus school. Okay. So that'll help get everyone to school. Still a very high residential demand, so that should work out just fine. And when all these buildings are built, my hourly is going to go through the roof. And hopefully I didn't overexpand. You know, it happens. Just you deal with it and move on. But hopefully I still maintain the good balance that I have right now. And adding the industrial will help offset my commercial problems, because these guys moved out. No freight, we're gone. Abandoned buildings generate no profit, attract homeless people, cause fires, cause arsonists go to there, all kinds of bad stuff. So you want to keep the people happy and do whatever it takes to get it there. Well, everybody, I think that's all the time that we have for tonight. Thank you very much for watching me. In my third video of my series, Building My First City, I am extremely pleased with how this has come out and where this is going. We're at almost 300,000 simoleons, and we're making 4,000 an hour, and these are all still very new buildings. So this is looking up. 21,000 population. When you build a city like this, optimally you're looking for 190 to 230,000 people. It really kind of depends on how much your penetration into the space, but that's a different discussion for another time. Well, everyone, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you learned something, or at least enjoyed it. If you have any feedback or any questions, please feel free to ask in the comments section. I am planning on producing these for at least a little while before I just go back to my regular regional play. Feel free to follow me, add me. I'm on Twitch. My Twitch has been posted, so come check me out. I stream quite often. I also have a face group that I started, and this YouTube channel. Everyone, have a good night. Thank you for tuning in, and let's all be mayor. Have a good night.